This is Dibia Wangu Chendo. Welcome to today's program. I want to send a shout out to my listeners, to my Ezumezu and Oramuo. I want to thank them for giving me the grace to be with you today. Chukwu anyanwụ na-agbala enu na anị. Ekenekwe m ndị ichie, ekene m chiokwu na ichie nta, ekenekwe m arọbụnagụ, ekene m gị chimnikenga, ekenekwe m ndị mmiri m, ekenekwe m unu. Wee sị na tata ga-amara anyị mma. Mmadụ niile bụ ndị na-ege m ntị n'onu n'ụbọchị tata, a sị nke ọmaka mebelụfa, omelụ ha n'iru, mmelụ ha n'azụ. Ụzọ ọbụla kpochi akpochi ya kpoghe, ka e wetara ha ife akụ na ife enwe. Asị m ka m gọlụ ka ọ lelụ ise. Today we are going to talk about spiritual cleansing. Now, spiritual cleansing, this is removing garbage from your life. This is removing garbage from your life, like unconscious thoughts, spoken words against someone. It is doing something indirectly without deliberately knowing it, but it poured chaos and calamity into one's life. Spiritual cleansing is taking charge of one's life and taking specific steps to ensure beneficial things occur. If things are not working properly, then it is time to take spiritual cleansing baths to cleanse your aura. This could be done once or 4 times a week or monthly. It depends how heavy, how dense your aura appears to be clogged. It depends on how you might feel the weight of negative energy around you, inside your body or your environment. Could be office, could be at home, could be in school, Any ordinary adherent can as well cleanse through daily affirmation. We call it ịgọ mmụọ maọbụ ịgọ ọjị ụtụtụ. Through that, you can appeal to your spiritual guide to remove anything that is bringing negativity into your life. You talk about uchu, oraku, nseke, ogbonuke, the light ones. These are the ones I'm referring to, because there are some cleansing that is very deep, that requires thorough, deep, ancient, and rigorous spiritual work to cleanse you from such. Well, I'm coming out gradually. I will have to enlighten you the more. So it is very important for one's spiritual growth and guidance in spirituality that you do your daily ịgọ mmụọ maọbụ ịgọ ọfọ. You see, anything you are using for your ịgọ mmụọ, be it nzu, ọjị, edo, mmanya ọkụ, you have to use alligator pepper to first cleanse yourself. You can use 4 seeds. Hold it in between your thumbs. And gradually run it through from your head to toe, saying words, affirmations, the one that will repel negativity. I am cleansing my body today, being Afo, of all negative energy, all bad vibes, hexes, jinx that I have knowingly or unknowingly attracted to myself. through the words of mouth, my attitude, from sitting in a bus, because you can get it anywhere. You can get that negative aura anywhere, negative vibe. You can get it anywhere. You cleanse, you start from yourself. After cleansing, you throw it away. Then the spiritual items around you, you have to cleanse with alligator pepper. Mind you, alligator pepper is the minor but powerful cleanser, spiritual cleanser. There are other items that can be used to do spiritual cleansing. Well, I am still coming out. I will tell you more. So, if you are not cleansed, it can bring blockages to your path. Spiritual blocks hinder success and blessings. So for one to overcome, there is need to also meditate daily and make daily declaration or state daily intention to cleanse the energies around you, cleanse your aura, even as you breathe. Then you dissolve every worry because you are promoting a higher consciousness in tune with nature. During cleansing, one can use a bucket of water, sea salt, alligator pepper, Florida water, honey, spiritual perfumes. We have lots of them. Herbs or essential oils as aroma helps cleanse the spirit. Aroma helps to cleanse the spirit, sweet aroma, sweet smelling, spiritual. It helps to cleanse the aura, and it also helps to attract good luck. It helps you to vibe more better with clarity without any spiritual clog. You know, we have some herbs and oils that have natural cleansing properties and spiritual abilities. Herbs like bay leaf, thyme, scent leaf, nchuang, bitter leaf, that is, we call it onubu, lemongrass, sage, lavender, rosemary, chamomile, new boldia, that is akwukwo ogilishi, palm frond, omunku, fern. This fern grows out of a palm tree, okay? Among others, we have so many of them. While some of the herbs are equally used in making essential oils, for instance, rose essential oil, cedar wood essential oil, lavender, tea tree oil, eucalyptus oil, this one that is indigenous to us, akwu ojukwu. We have it. We have udaku. You know, we have 3 types of palm tree, the species. We have akwu ojukwu. That one, the oil is also good for cleansing. We have the one directly from the palm tree, akwu itself. Spiritual cleansing requires that one activates the materials used in preparation for the cleansing. This is where candles are required to state intentions and the cleansing materials placed in order to activate the intention and power of the ritual cleaning. For you to do this, you have to choose a quiet place to do that to avoid disturbances of any type. Mostly, that is why it's recommended for one to cleanse at night. There are ones you do early in the morning, but it depends. You know, you can stay in a corner or center of the room, which is very perfect. One can as well stay outside. You can go outside under the moon, under the stars, under the sun. It depends on what you want to do, because this allows you to connect with the universe. You know, ordinary is all about spirituality. It's all about nature, veneration of nature. So one can as well stay outside, as this allows connection with the universe to boost positive energy and attract natural energy, while you can light an incense or smudge the environment. Smudges are made from sage, cedar, sweetgrass, lemongrass, palo santo, new boldia, garlic, ginger, clove, among others. We have lots of natural smudges. They are made from plants. Some prefer them using them fresh. Some the preserved ones, like it has been dried over the period. You see, these efforts are channeled into being spiritually clean, as it does not make one a perfect being, no, but to constantly be in spiritual alignment with the universe. It's very good for you to align spiritually with the universe and to harness one's positive aura. Therefore, you choose a path that brings you nearer to a higher power that will enhance your spiritual abilities, because this is justifiable before Chukwu. The journey towards spiritual growth and lifestyle is a bit hard. Odo is you, Odo Okwofele. So the need to always do right must reflect vividly both character-wise and in principles. This entails choosing not to lie, fornicate, cheat, bribe, kill, indulge in sexual immorality, including a good relationship with family, friends. You don't keep grudges, you don't keep malice. Because all this weighs down your aura. It weighs down your spirituality. If you are a dibia, bu ojena mo. If you do all these things, you commit all these atrocities, it will bring a spiritual clog to your life. Even anyị ji afụ ụzọ, you'll be having problem to connect spiritually. Your pineal gland, you'll be having problem to connect. So spirituality is not as if it is abracadabra kind of thing. You have to start within. A na-esi n'ime mmalụ mmapụta n'ilo. Like a newborn baby, that is how your heart should be, how your body should be, clean, holy, and sacred. So once you are not seeing this, once you are not vibrating properly, it is time to do spiritual cleansing. No matter who you are, it's not meant for only dibias alone. Ndị eze nwoke ma ndị eze nwanyị. Even you as a human being, once you are spiritually inclined, you need to do spiritual sanitation, which is called cleansing. It is not possible to be totally perfect, but one can try to remove or suppress evident flaws while practicing spirituality. Now, spiritual cleansing is eliminating blocks, the things that inhibit the natural flow of goodness within and around us. Our thoughts, feelings, emotions are driven by natural aura to radiate and vibrate positivity. But when we come in contact with negativities, it destroys our physical, mental, intellectual, financial, psychological, our ego, emotions, metaphysical body, and even spiritual aspects of life. Therefore, we should strive not to complain about failed businesses, blockages, stagnation, bad luck, jinns, hexes, when we have failed to live clean spiritually. One should at least do spiritual cleansing before consulting a dibia. Yes, it's very necessary. So that if the dibia is vibrating on a very high frequency, once you come, if you have done that cleansing, it will be easier to connect spiritually to do divination for you. There are people who move around with dark energies. It's just that the dibia face to face. The dibia might not be able to do divination for you because of the negative energy hanging around ominously around you as a person. Now, what does the dibia do? The dibia will cleanse you. Yes, before you come into the chamber or before you come into his office where he is obi, let me just use our known language in ordinary. Before you come into his obi or obu, you have to cleanse yourself with alligator pepper. Most of them keep it there at the entrance. You have to use it to cleanse yourself. That is a temporary cleanser, not a permanent one. Because I told you that there are categories of spiritual clogs. There are spiritual blockages that you can't cleanse ordinarily with minor things. Like I said, I'm coming out gradually. So, spiritual cleansing is very important. One should at least do spiritual cleansing before consulting a dibia, so that those things you want to be revealed to the dibia will be revealed as long as you have cleared your aura. It's easier to connect because there are so many ways of doing divination. There are some people, once you come in and you cleanse yourself, they will hold your hand, your palm to palm connectivity. Some connect that way. Some merely by sensing your aura, psychic. Some use divination tools like ugiri, snail shells, cowries, some kola nut, some use sand, some use water, some use akupe. So there are so many ways and there are so many divination tools. If you are not spiritually clean, it can affect the alpha being run for you. That is, if you are coming face to face to see the dibia. Now, it is the job or duty of the dibia to cleanse you that is coming to his chamber. For those ones that are spiritually conscious. There are some, the way they prepare themselves, some of the dibia, you won't know. He will hang, I don't want to go deep, so that anything able, we call it able. By the time you enter his compound, that able already has neutralized every negativity you are carrying or every negative spirit that is following you to his place. So let me not go deep to that area. So naturally, the need for a higher type of spiritual cleansing is very necessary and can be recommended for somebody who has been going through cyclic problem, or let me say cycle problem. This cycle problem, you notice it that when this thing happens, maybe like after 2 or 3 months, it reoccurs again. It's always reoccurring. So the term I use for it is a cyclic problem or cycle problem. You notice the rapid retrogression, the rapid setback, almost like a repetition. When you think you are free of this, it reoccurs again. That is, if you're spiritually conscious, you need to start asking questions. You need to do spiritual consultations. Now, for people like this, I recommend daily cleansing or weekly cleansing or monthly cleansing to reduce the speed and rate at which it occurs. After doing that and you see there is no progress, then it is time to go for a deep cleansing. The one that results from you committing nsala, killing, committing incest, abortion, okay? Stealing other people's wife or sleeping with another man's wife or husband. Our society differ. There are some communities that have a deep tradition, like in the Suka area. Adultery is a very heavy offense, either spiritually or physically, in that community. So for this type, there are repercussions. So ordinary cleansing is not going to save you. You have to go deep, do a deeper cleansing. Now, how to know if one needs spiritual cleansing? How to know if one needs spiritual cleansing? Number one, constant failure and bad luck. When it's always reoccurring in your life, know that you need spiritual cleansing. Number two, friends hate, dislike, and detest you. Anytime you come around, the atmosphere changes. People turn away or they start giving excuses of why they won't be in that same place with you. Or they might not even hide their disgust or disdain for you. Number three, careless talks without control. You find yourself always talking lewd things, obscene talks, okay? You always look for trouble with your mouth. Because once you talk carelessly, nobody will take it easy with you. You find out that even when you open your mouth, they will find something to accuse you of. Number four, deliberately hurting others. When you derive joy in hurting people, you need to look deep inside of you to know that something is wrong. Why would you derive joy in hurting people? You need to look within. Something is wrong. In fact, you are becoming a sadist all the while. Number five, rejoicing over people's misfortune. Now. There are people like that. They will sit down and gloat and they will say, yes, you deserve what is coming to you. Instead of sympathizing with somebody who is going over a bad phase in life, instead of helping out, you sit down and analyze and rejoice and clap your hands and do all manner of things. Number six, insomnia and constant bad dreams. Whenever you have bad nightmares, whenever you dream, you don't remember, whenever you wake up at a certain hour of the night, check yourself. Number seven, laziness, both physically and spiritually, especially when you do not feel like ego for. You need to cleanse yourself. Something is weighing down heavily on you. You are being choked spiritually. Of course, there is this saying, Oborochinya Kelechi. Once you wake up in the morning, you have to say thank you to Chukwu Okike. Ekekeruwa. When you are communicating with him in the traditional way, of course, there should be an upliftment. You should get inspiration. You should become light. Your aura should vibe with higher frequency and vibration. Hence, it's not forthcoming, please. You need to do spiritual cleansing. Or anytime you remember, nature go for tutu. Suddenly, you just become tired and weak. If it continues happening, please, you need spiritual cleansing. Number 8, always procrastinating. You have something scheduled to do, but you always postpone it. You postpone it today, tomorrow, the next, it never gets done. Something is behind it. Sometimes ndị otu can do this to you. If they want to punish you, they make you to always procrastinate. You won't get those things done until you appease them. Number 9, constant misfortunes. Number 10, vindictiveness. 11, circle of problems. I've said this one earlier. Constant misfortunes, vindictiveness, always you need to vindict yourself, as in every time you don't let go, you are always hammering on what someone did and how you are going to get back at the person. Circle of problems. After solving this one, another one crops up. After solving this, another one crops up. Now only you waka come. So these are signs to know if one needs spiritual cleansing. Number 12, you talk about disappointment. It is akin to promise and fail. Somebody will promise you something. When you go for it, the person will say, oh, I can't fulfill my promise. Or even at the very day you are given an appointment, you are disappointed. It is true they say that every disappointment is a blessing, but this one don't pass disappointment now. It don't pass blessing. You really need to work on yourself and know that you need spiritual cleansing. Number 13, spiritual work does not work for you. It is time to do your spiritual cleansing. There are so many people, when they meet a certain category of DBS, they just tell them what their problem is water works, to go and do Ibumili or Iloma, without checking their foundation to know if there is a spiritual clog. Like our women, I always say that foreign religion has always promoted abortion because they hide under the disguise of unwanted pregnancy, that J-boy is always forgiving, so they can commit abortion and get away with it. After all, his blood will cleanse them. They will go and ask for mercy, for forgiveness. It is not so in Ordinary Igbo spirituality. It is not. It is a grievous sin against Akwali Omumu. It is a grievous sin against Ndi Ichie. I'm using the term sin so that you can understand the gravity of it. It is insane, an abomination for you to expel a fetus, for you to kill it willfully because you term it unwanted pregnancy. Okay? We don't support that in any Igbo society that is just. These made our society very good back in the days. I'm not talking about now. A lot of things have gone wrong. That is why you're hearing my voice here on radio. So that we'll come back to our roots, we'll come back to our indigenous spirituality, we come back to the real and original spirituality that Igbos are known for. Ndị Igbo teta nọ n'ụra. Especially if you are choosing one, you are a carrier of power. You don't commit abortion, please. Whether you are married or unmarried, don't. Obanye mwonya bụ nwa. Will you continue doing appeasement all the time? Will you continue doing ikpochi onunu? You see, that is why our ancestors married many wives. Instead of you to abort, there will be omumu. You give birth. And the other wife that is not pregnant takes charge of the husband's sexual desire. But now, what do we see today? One man, one wife as promoted by Western imperialism. So imagine the atrocities going on in churches. Even in Ordinary too. Because most of them brought the church mindset inside Ordinary spirituality. Majority of the women, they don't want their husband to marry any other wife except them. And you say that Ibo onye Ordinary. Ị chọrọ ka di gị nụọ nwunye ọzọ. With your Christian mindset, obi ndị okwu na ụka. You want to torment him. You want to haunt him. You want to be the center of attention and attraction and whatsoever. And you don't give it to him all the time. Or probably you say you have had 3 children or 4. You don't want. And if if it is a family that they have omomo, what will the man do? Of course, he has to take another wife. to avoid dragging pant and bra at night or begging. Let me just do. So there is a solution to every problem. Now, if this problem is not tackled, this results to somebody going to do abortion. And abortion hinders spiritual works. If you have blood on your hands, please don't go to Ndiche, don't go to Akwaliom, don't go to your water people, your marine family, don't go there. Even before your Chitu, even before your Alusi. You must be cleansed. Deep cleansing. This is the type that calls for deep cleansing. And even Ipualu. For those incestuous and the ones that committed other heavier, abominations. Either secretly or in the open. So we really have to be careful the way we live our life. I'm coming with other points. We have lateness in marriage. This calls for thorough cleansing. Number 14, lateness in marriage. You need spiritual cleansing. Something is holding you back. So this is where you go and meet a diviner. You meet a dibia mgbafa. Ka agbaala gị afa mala ife ji gị na atọrapụrụ gị ka ije nụọ di. Maybe the family committed something by destroying ancestral abode, destroying akwali ọmụmụ, destroying a lot of things, all in the name of Christianity, that they don't want it anymore. Many of you don't know the covenant your ancestors put in place. You just wake up one day and say you are mad for J-Boy and you start destroying things. It causes a lot of things, a lot of havoc. Unu je tikposi all those things. Kedu ife unu ma unu na-eme? So many families, and then when lateness in marriage, or their women don't marry at all. Even their men self, they will marry and the marriage will scatter, will break up. They will marry, they will divorce. Or they will marry, no peace. Every day is war, is fight, and now about war inside the marriage. So we need to be careful. This type calls for deep cleansing too. Jinx and hexes, number 15. Jinx and hexes. When you willfully, look for somebody's trouble. Let me use myself as an example. You all know that I am a vessel to be used for humanity and mankind. So because you don't like my profession as a dibia, you come and insult me. You point your finger at me because you dislike my profession. But anyway, in the first place, I'm not the one that called myself. I didn't choose myself to serve humanity and mankind. I was chosen by the gods. Will I say no? In this 21st century, some will say, she's a dibia. She's bowing down to idol. The ignorance make a lot of you not to use your common sense. Many of you have not done any research to know more about your spirituality, Ordinary Igbo. You stay on the periphery and talk anyhow. You hate people for nothing's sake because already your mind has been colonized with all sorts of bad stories. Other people have told your own story. You believe the ones they have told you and disregard the ones, your ancestors that have always been with you. They even left traces of it everywhere. It's just that you are too blind to see, or too blind or too lazy to make your research and make inquiry or even ask questions. You allow most of those elderly ones to die off without asking them, how is this thing done? How is that thing done? What made them to institute this? What happens in Obundichi? You see all those things as relics of the past or ancient things or paganism. Yes, Because what they don't understand, they term paganism. They term you a pagan if you don't share the same spirituality with them. What about your own spirituality? Were you a Christian in your original form? Mgbe Chukwu mere gị mara n'isi from this family. Your forebears, did you ask that question? I don't want to deviate, but these genes and hex comes as a result of you willfully committing something against someone. Sometimes you might be innocent. The person out of vindictiveness wants to deal with you or the family. They will now place a hex on members of that family or continuously jinx them. For this to be solved, it is not ordinary spiritual cleansing that you do. It's a deep one. But first, you go for spiritual consultation to know how to solve the problem. 16, sexual immorality. The energy you exchange between the female and male species. Be very, very careful. Some men and women have negative energies. Some men and women have positive energy. It all depends. Now, watch your life. If you are in any sexual relationship, there are people you exchange your sexual energy with. You find out that you start having myriad of problems. You start going down fast. Your vibrations start dimming. You start going lower. You start having problem with people. No more good luck. No more goodness. You need to be careful. You need to be conscious. Once you notice this, please keep your distance from the person. Go and do spiritual cleansing. Then once you cleanse yourself, you observe again if your life have come back to the right track. That is why before you sleep with any man or any woman, your spirit should tell you that this person matches me or is good. The energy exchange between both of you. If you are discerning, you will know. But if you are not discerning, that is when you go into the hands of some of these deadly people, the occultic men or women. Because it's vice versa between both sex. We have occultic men and women. They need something from your body to achieve whatever diabolic purpose they want. So be careful with whoever you exchange your energy with. Now, on the positive side, if both of you are matched, the energy is clean, the aura vibration is high, on a very high frequency. You see, once you have anything to do with the person, either sexually or physically or mentally, you will witness a lot of positive things. Positive aura, good luck, favor, open doors, breakthroughs. Yes, it's possible. So, therefore, you have to guide yourself jealously. You don't sleep with any man or woman you see. There was a time there was a video trending on the internet about a lady sleeping with a dog. Now, for this, this lady needs deep, thorough, deep, thorough or thorough, deep cleansing, whichever. Now, for you, an innocent man, to ignorantly meet this kind of woman who is also spiritually dead, don't you know it will affect you forever? It will affect your future. It will affect your spirituality. It will affect everything that has to do with you from head to toe. That is why you have to be careful. So many men and women are out there with beautiful bodies, beautiful shapes, okay? The sophisticated ones, the local ones, the whatever ones, any type, okay? So you have to be conscious with whoever you exchange your energy with. I rather you stay celibate Yes, you have control. You zip up. Instead of going from one woman to the other, one man to the other, sleeping around, maybe because of money, because you are hungry, because of selfish reasons, or you're a nymphomaniac, whatever you are, learn to have restraint to certain things, especially your sexual life. To avoid sexual immorality, it's better to be celibate so you don't start cleansing all the time. There are minor cleansing, the one that maybe you are with your own mate, your own partner, but you are involved in doing spiritual works. You are a dibia or ezenwoke or ezenwai. Now, after this sexual relationship with your wife or your fiancé, you have to cleanse yourself before you touch any spiritual work, before you do any spiritual work. You have to. It is a must. Okay? But for the one you don't know about, like you just meeting a woman, even before you sleep with the woman, please ask question. Even before you marry, ask question. Do spiritual consultation. Do the physical one. Because if once I say consultation, you see everybody will be jumping into my inbox. Some, they have not even proposed to them. You want to know this, you want to know that. It is when the man shows signs of seriousness that you have to do your research. Research about the man's background, the woman's background. It is vice versa. It is not only women. The one-on-one, you personally observe the person. Then you do family background check too. Then you do the spiritual check to know if both of you are suited for each other. To know if there are some spiritual problems the man or woman have, like majority of our women in the eastern part of Nigeria, ha na-amụ ezigbote mma, ha na-ama mma ụmụ mama ịwọta. So, jee jụọ ese to know if she's in good terms with her marine family. Most have spiritual husband. Some spiritual husbands are active, some are inactive. You see, these inactive ones is when you now come close, you will now know. So if you are spiritually conscious, if you are, spiritually inclined, you need to check out those things. You don't run away from the man or woman. If you have the resources, the financial wherewithal, try and solve the problem. I don't even call it a problem. It is setting things right. If you really and truly love this man or woman, ije jusizie ese gbasịa afa agwa gị na onwe dị mmiri na ụnọkwa na otu maybe her EU will disturb. Try and fix those things. Do the spiritual works together. If both of you have been dating and committing series of abortion, now you people are serious, you want to marry, please go and do ikochuonunu. So it will not affect your marriage in the future, whereby you go in achọbazia nwa achọ ma na-enwe series of miscarriages, ma na-enwezi setback either financially. You have to cleanse yourself thoroughly before you delve into marriage. Any which way. Let me use our Nigerian way of speaking English. You know, most times when I laugh, I want you to know that you can take things easy. You don't have to be so serious and say, oh, she's scaring you. I'm not scaring you. I want you to know that you can handle situations without being afraid. Now, I want to talk about benefits of spiritual cleansing. When you cleanse, your body, spirit, and mind become spiritually heightened. You become sensitive. That is when you can see umumwa for those who are gifted spiritually. You can easily connect. You become more courageous and bold to face the world. Nothing scares you. Maka na aka gị dị ọcha. Doors begin to open of their own accord once you are spiritually clean. You see that anywhere you go, people accept you. There is this acceptance. There is this honor. It starts from within, spiritually first, before it manifests physically. every closed doors begin to open. You will notice it. People will love you. Favor will come from east, west, north, and south. You have total control of your mind and your action. You don't do things anyhow. You are conscious of yourself, what you say, how you treat people, how you talk, even how you walk, the kind of food you eat, the places you visit, the kind of friends you have. Because as a spiritual person, you are not the same with any other person who is not a vessel of power. There are certain things you stay off from. There are limits to things. You don't talk too much because people come to you. If you are loquacious or you are talkative, you don't know when you divulge things people have told you. So to avoid all this from happening, you really have to mind yourself. If you are constantly and spiritually clean, you have total control of what you do, of how your mind thinks. Now you can connect properly without feeling heavy. Like most dibias, they have the answer and iwu. So once you are spiritually clean, you know all these and you observe them. You don't eat anyhow. You don't talk anyhow. You don't insult people. You have a certain level of tolerance. But that does not mean that when you are tolerant, you become a doormat for others. Because most people, once they sense and say one is a dibia, they feel confrontational. They want to come and test you. Or they feel like, oh, are you not a human being like me? Because I used to warn people, over familiarity is going to bring problem between you and any dibia. Once the person is a dibia, the person has gone through the initiation rites. Of course, you know, no bo okalam madu okalam mmụọ. You don't talk to that person anyhow. Because the spirits in him, those are the things, those are the ones you are challenging. It is not the person that you are seeing physically. And no spirit will just keep calm and allow you to say whatever demeaning things you feel like saying just because you are seeing their physical representation of a man or woman. Let me use myself for example. Because you see me, you say, oh, this woman, this, that, and this. You are forgetting one thing, that we are not the same. I'm not saying it so that you become afraid of dibias. I'm telling you that you should know your limits and stay within your limits. Even if the person is tolerant, don't go and provoke the person to try and test power or know what the person will do, or to try and castigate the person. Oh, echekwa m na dibia adịghị iwe. Echekwa na dibia kwesịrị ịdị na-enwe ndidi. You know, such stuffs. So because of this cleansing, the dibia now have control of one's mind, action. Not only the dibia I'm talking to today, to other people who are spiritually conscious or who are waking up. You now have empathy towards others. You feel people's problem. You feel their hurt. You know, you always feel like helping them and even help them, not feel like. You become so mindful if you are spiritually cleansed. Now, once you are spiritually cleansed, what you benefit again is effective thinking and planning before embarking on any project. You sit down and think properly and plan towards it and see to its actualization. You know, most people that do things anyhow, they are not, how will I put it? Ha na-eme ife ọ dịka ndị ala agwụ agwụ. Yes, that is the term I can use in our language. Ala agwụ agwụ. Ọ na-eme anyhow. It is because there is something limiting them from giving out their best, from becoming well behaved. But once you are cleansed, I'm telling you, you put on your thinking cap. You don't do things anyhow. You plan properly before you do anything so that it will go successfully. It is only someone who is not interested in doing things well that will do it haphazardly without giving a damn, without caring whether it's successful or not. You plan an event, you just cook like 10 cups of rice, whereas more than 50 guests are coming. You don't care. But if you are thoughtful, if you are well connected with yourself, you should know and even prepare for unexpected guests. Yes, that is how it is done. If you are expecting about 50 people, you can cook 100 cups of rice or 70 cups. In case they are coming with their friends, or in case somebody is just passing by and wants to share in the joy. Now, another benefit is connection with your spiritual guide. You now connect with your chi. You connect with Chukwu Okike. You connect with your Agwu. You connect with your spiritual spouse. Because your spiritual spouse is your blessing bearer, your wealth keeper, your wealth giver, your joy giver. You connect with your Ndiotu. They are your gossip mates, your light bearers, your message bearers in the spirit realm. That is why I love ordinary spirituality. You see these people that I'm mentioning, these spiritual guys that I'm mentioning, these are the ones that churches will tell you that they are demonic, they are this, they are that. Whereas it's natural to us. We are natural people, we are spiritual people from ab initio. Know this today and know peace. And stop being afraid of your shadow just because you embrace foreign religion. Once you are cleansed, you benefit from them. Chukwu Okike, the supreme, the overall, the giver and taker of life, your healer, your everything, you connect with him. Your onye nọrọ gị ụwa, who is your protector, your defender, your waymaker, your fighter, your representative in the spirit realm, your voice in the spirit realm, you connect with your onye nọrọ gị ụwa and have peace. Your Agwu, who is your director, your revelational force, your destiny helper, your eye opener, your in fact, I call it brain box or your engine room. You vibe at the same frequency. You have peace. That is why you now know that, hey, you behave normal. You see, you need to experience this so that you know that cleansing is very effective. You benefit when you cleanse. You connect with your spiritual guides. Also, another benefit is that you now safeguard yourself from keeping bad companies and you run away from bad habits. You know, like many men that believe in sleeping with different women is out of bad habits. Yes, it is better you marry. If you want to marry 3 wives. If you want to marry 5 wives. Yes. Instead of having different side chicks all over the place. And you are clinging to one woman, you say you are married to her, but you have tested more than 30 side chicks all over the place, all over the country. It is bad habit. Marry them. If you have that strength for 30 or 10 women, why don't you have the resources to marry them and keep them in your house? The slim, the big, the fat, the short, whatever. Light complexion, the one you like. So rather than keep bad company, you go and steal or you go and do something that is a social vice, which even the society do not promote. You avoid it. You cleanse yourself from it. Because cleansing will give you that leeway to keep the right company and remove bad habits. Another benefit is you have increased positive vibrations and aura. People see you, they love you. People see you, they like you. There is no spiritual clog over you. Another one is joyful living. As the universe opens up to bless you, you become contented, you become happy, you become loved, you experience joy above other. Another benefit is better and improved relationship. You see, when you now cleanse yourself, you see husband and wife loving each other the more because they have now aligned and removed every spiritual clog between them. Another benefit is reduce stress and improve mental ability or consciousness. You now learn to take things at the pace that it presents itself. So there are so many benefits when you do your spiritual cleansing. There are so many benefits, lots of it. I believe I have spoken well today. I believe you learned one or two things. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me to ask your question. And please, while asking your question, learn to phrase it very well, okay? So that I can understand you and know where you are. You know how to answer your question. Cleansing will remove anything that blocks your way. Cleansing will make spiritual work to work for you. I told you that there is a light cleansing and a deep cleansing. So you learn to live a good life. You learn to be spiritually conscious. You learn to avoid the things that will make your spiritual guides turn away from you. Things you do that make those spiritual guides to be angry with you, that you feel like, oh, nothing is working in your life. Most times it's because you are not spiritually conscious to know. Their spiritual guides, they forbid you from drinking, committing abortion, having multiple sexual partners, being evil, lying, all sorts of negative vices. So you do away with them. Ordinarily, anywhere you go, you come back, you have to cleanse yourself. Before going out of your home, cleanse yourself. Even your homes, you do spiritual cleansing. You can burn incense, burn sages, and cleanse the aroma. While you are doing that, you open the doors, the windows of your house. You burn incense. You cleanse the you cleanse the arena. You cleanse the area. Some call it smudging. Some call it cleansing. So that you attract a positive spirit. So one should at least do spiritual cleansing before consulting a dibia. If the cleansing fails to open up doors or higher ranks with positive effects, no, you should go for consultation to know the kind of cleansing that needs to be done. Well, this brings us to the end of today's topic, spiritual cleansing. See you same time, same place, same station, same Divya. Is bye from me, Divya Wangu Chend.